Hello again, everyone. It's Randy, your sewing machine man, and what we're looking at is a Singer heavy duty. And now what you're thinking, oh no, here we go again with another Singer heavy duty. Well, you'll be right. Here we go again with another Singer heavy duty, and let's get started. Okay, here he is, the Singer heavy duty. And you know it's heavy duty because it says so right there. Well, it could be anything else but heavy duty because it says heavy and duty. Well, you know, me and the heavy duty thing, I always go off on that because that's my pet peeve. The customer sent this one in and she said, tension needs check. So, okay, I'll check the tension. It's on 4. Okay, the tension's good. And of course, I'm being sarcastic because customer just means making a bad stitch. They always say, check this, check that, check the timing, check. They always going to give me the cure instead of the symptom. The symptom is it's making a bad stitch, or it's looping underneath, or it's skipping stitches, but they always translate that to, they translate it to check the tension, check the timing, but it could be a bunch of stuff. Now this one here, because someone fell for that heavy duty, because, you know, you see it and you think, well, surely they wouldn't be misleading us that it's heavy duty. So, I took the screws out already. The customer didn't bring the screws out just to save a little time. Took the screws out so we could get to the heart of the matter. First thing we do is look at the needle plate, and you notice that it is just completely collapsed. It is trashed down. Let me hold it still here so you can see it. So it's got 2 ferocious grooves cut in it there where the needle has been striking it because it's sewing on something way too heavy. And of course, this metal is barely metal, so it's collapsed it down. You can see where that's bent that. And that's not cracked on either side, so I can straighten that, and I can recondition that, and give it another couple rounds of doing the heavy-duty thing. And it'll eventually break a gear or break something else, or break the hand wheel. Something will break because it's plastic mostly. But it gets better. Down here, I've already loosened up the thread gap, so this will come out. And fortunately, she didn't spin out the bobbin case and chew it all up. There's no dings on it, so it was in there. Well, there's a 1 there, but no big deal. I can recondition that. But here's the hook. Thank goodness the hook is made out of metal and not plastic, because you can see where the needle comes down, right on this downstroke, right there is where, when you're sewing on heavy stuff, the needle will impact. And you can see the back there where it has impacted that. You can see the couple little deals on it where it's hit. That'll bring it around. You can see it a little better. I'll get my emphasis pointer here, my high dollar emphasis pointer called a needle file. You can see right there where that's banged up. It's got several little pits on it where the needles hit that. What'll happen is when the needle hits that, you'll take a chunk out of it. Right there, right there. And then as long as those chunks are out of it, the thread won't slide around the bobbin case. It'll hang up there. And when it hangs up under there, see a better look there. You can see it where it's banged up. And where the thread comes around, it'll hang on it. Right. Let me get a better emphasis pointer. And a little more high dollar. Here we go. Right there, where the needle hits that chews that up, and that has to be smoothed out with a file, and then with emery cloth to get that as smooth as the rest of it. It's got to be smooth as everything over there because the thread runs around there every stitch. It'll hang up, make big loops underneath, and of course the customer thinks the tension is off because that's what it, just logic would tell you tension's off. But in this case, no, it's not. It's got the daylights beat out of it. So, and then you say, well, it's doing all that. Let's check everything else that the needle could possibly impact. And then you go look at the back of the presser foot, and you notice that it's got the daylights beat out of it as well. You can see the needle's been pounding that, and those have to be taken off and polished out, or else the thread will hang on that. So all that has to be mitigated. It has to be, I'll get it focused here in a second. There you go. It has to be polished out, smoothed out. And that's just at first inspection. I'm going to guess everything else is okay because the timing looks good. Maybe off a little bit, but we can take care of that. But there's no broken gears. Everything's feeding. Everything's turning. So we'll see what we got here, and we'll go to the next step. Okay. And the next step will be taking care of all the stuff and getting her all back together and going from there. Okay, we spent a little time with this guy, getting it all fixed up here. You notice the needle plate is no longer collapsed. It is beveled there, got all that grouchy stuff off there, got it beveled real nice. Let's get some light on there so we can get a reflection so you can see that. And it's got a nice little bevel on it. And there you go. And it's no longer collapsed down. It's nice and level. It has to be completely level. You straighten that out with pliers or flip it over and tap it very lightly with a little hammer, tiny little hammer. And of course the back of the presser foot, we took all the little dings and bumps off of there, all those little snags, and it turned out pretty well. Got some crocus cloth, cleaned that up real good, got it nice and clean. So now, and then of course down here, this area right here where it was all banged up, polished all that out so it's nice and smooth. So I got all that figured out, and just while we're here, me and these things, I got to show you inside because they're heavy duty, right? Well, I'll agree it's got a nice frame. It's got a nice shaft going through the bearings there. That's good. It's got a timing belt, which seems to hold up pretty well. And it's got some plastic stuff here in your take-ups and your connectors. This little guy right here, they were trying to get more pressure. I don't know if they were trying to make a saddle or what, but they kept tightening this down and see they got it all chewed up there. They got it chewed up. Of course, it's plastic. They tightened it down till it stopped and then tried to tighten it some more, which is a good way to break stuff, but it didn't break, so they stopped before it broke. But that should not be that tight. Just that much pressure alone will collapse this needle plate. It'll just push right down on it because this stuff is soft. It's not hard at all. Of course, everything's oiled up there in the top. Down the bottom, I get these things for people. They ordered them online. They were the first one to open the box. And these are supposed to be wet, like this one. As you see, it's wet with oil because that's an oiling wick. Over here, wet with oil. It's an oiling wick. They come in dry as a bone. They're just white as they can be. And there's that big motor that Singer says is a great motor, and I agree. It's pretty strong, but that's never going to be a problem. The problem is going to be like the plastic gears and things that'll break when you're trying to make it do too much because you were told it was heavy duty. But it says so right there, and of course you believe that because why would Singer lie to you, right? So what you do is just don't do the heavy duty stuff, do the light stuff, and we'll get it back together here and have it sewn here in a little bit. And that's exactly what we did. Got it all back together, polish everything up, oil everything up. Of course, right in the middle of your bobbin case, take your bobbin out of your bobbin case, and right in the middle there's a hole there. And you're wondering what that hole is for? That's an oil hole. You put oil in that hole. It goes right into your main wick there, oiling wick in the center, and you should do that, I don't know. Make sure it stays wet, and on the outside ring out there, put a drop every 2 bobbins, so everything's floating on a nice layer of mineral oil. And you get it all back together, and what do you know? It's ready to go back to the customer. And of course she can take it and sew on whatever she wants to. It's her property, and she owns it. And if she wants to go back and sew on stuff that's way too heavy, that's her prerogative, because she may say, I'll just use this thing until it blows up and buy another one. And I know people do that. They'll blow it up, buy another one, and they've amortized the numbers, they've run the figures, and they say that's cheaper than getting an industrial and, taking to maybe they're just putting the prototype together and seeing if they want to make it for their Etsy account, and maybe this will just get them over the hump. Everybody's got a logical reason for buying these things, and I have no problem. I do not hate on these machines. I just don't like the fact that it says heavy duty, because that's just a descriptive term like red or pretty or, robust. That's just a descriptive term. There is no way to quantify heavy duty because it's an opinion. My opinion is it's not heavy duty. Of course, that's just my opinion based on 49 years of experience. And I've told you what heavy duty is. It's not things that are almost totally plastic, because plastic is, it's heavier than cotton candy and it's heavier than marshmallows, but you get my point. Anyhow, there's the Singer heavy duty. And what is the model number on this? They have all sorts of different models numbers on. This one was made in China, and it's model number 4423. And if you want to get one of these, go ahead. I mean, if I worked on these all day long, I can knock out, and that's at the Singer Service Center, we had to knock out a minimum of 10 machines a day. The most I've never ever knocked out of one day is 32. That's my personal best. I mean, we started very early in the morning, and 18 hours later, we were done. We had a lot of machines to knock out. But 32 is my day's best, and if I have to do 10 of these a day, I got no problem with it. I'll get them fixed if they're fixable. That's what I do, and these people pay me the money to do it. So my job is to fix them, get them back to them, and then they can do whatever they want to with it. So you want to treat it like it's heavy duty, that's none of my business. But if you want one of these and you want to sew on shirts and blouses and jammies and pillowcases, you're going to have pretty good luck for a long time because they're not bad little machines. But in my estimation, they're not, you know what. Thanks.